Hello, everybody. This is Gary Kay, and you are obviously watching a different kind of video cast from me today because we have a special kind of video cast. We're actually going to do a little bit of a product demo and it's to help you understand a product known as Mondopad. And I'm joined by Abby Rath. Abby Rath is the Senior Product Specialist at InFocus who handles the Mondopad. Good morning, Abby. How are you?
I'm great, Gary. How are you today?
Doing great, and you're going to be bringing over some Mondopads over to the ISE show, and I want to first have you talk about sort of the concept behind the product and do a little demo for us, and then we'll talk about the different options that are available. So first off, if you could tell us a little bit about what the concept is behind the Mondopad.
Absolutely. So when we launched the Mondopad back in 2011, our idea was to bring simplicity to the conference room and the classroom. This is an all-in-one device. In fact, some people like to call it a conference room in a box. It's got everything you need to video conference, to have engaging whiteboard sessions, collaborate in or out of the room, and share documents. As a complete solution, it comes with a full HD camera up on top, integrated microphone array, 50-watt sound bars, and 4 different size panels, all the way up to an 85-inch Ultra 4K resolution and a small size at 57. So you can decide those sizes or something in between. As a complete solution, you get things like video conferencing with it, an integrated and fun-to-use whiteboard, and the ability to bring in your presentation and launch it simply. That's kind of the concept behind Mondopad.
Yeah, and I know that in the early days when I first saw the product, I know that one of the areas that you guys focused on was the user experience. Literally, kind of what it was explained to me as a walk-up and use experience was the term that I think was originally used by you guys, where you could walk up to it and if all you wanted to do is whiteboard, you'd be able to figure it out without having to log in and do a bunch of special settings, or if you actually wanted to have a video call, you'd be able to do that. So you've not only made a product that is simple to use because it does have that walk-up and user experience, which I want you to kind of demonstrate, but also you're using some industry standards behind the scenes in the product. So if you don't mind talking about those two aspects, I would appreciate it.
Those are actually my 2 favorite aspects. Number 1, IT teams love Mondopad because it's a computer. It's an Intel i7 or an i7 Skylake. So to you, it's just another computer on your network. Manage it remotely. Put your own antivirus. Heck, put your own Win 7 or Win 10 image on it. But everybody else, the less technical people, we play here in Mondopad. We get the simplicity of using this type of product. So on the simple to use side, you can walk into the room. You can launch, view, and share where you have folders and files. You can access your cloud accounts. You can pull up PowerPoint, Excel, Word, PDF, JPEG, even videos of your dog if you want. You can come through here and pull up pictures, be able to annotate right over the top of those pictures without having to take hours and hours of training. So let's draw a little smiley face up here. Maybe someone's vacation someday. You can simply and easily save your great ideas. You can save it locally to the Mondopad, or you can map it to network drives. You can plug in a USB. There's 4 on this side. And then you can actually take your content to go. If you don't want to save it, maybe you want to print it. How many times have you been in a meeting and you have action items and your boss says, hey, I'm going to email this to you, or you have to wait or draw your own notes? Just print it and walk by the printer and pick it up. Or email it to yourself right there under the share button. You can email to everybody in the organization, email aliases, or even add a visitor to it. Press share, send it as a JPEG or a PDF, and send it right out. It's just about that easy. Don't save. Jumping back to files, click, and 1 click always gets you back to the home page.
And because it's I know some of first people's response, because I'm a Mac user, that it's a Windows computer. One thing that's different here is that you're using an off-the-shelf kind of Windows computer, but it's really purpose-built. In other words, it was specifically built for this application, and you have re-engineered the user interface software so that you're actually, although it is at core a Windows product, it's a purpose-built application that's riding on top of Windows. So it's not like you're going to have sort of the things that people are familiar with, although you can have it in a Windows mode where you can use it just like a computer. Most of the time you're going to be using it in sort of Mondopad mode.
There's my Windows OS, and I can easily just jump back to the Mondopad. We're all about the open architecture because there are a lot of really cool devices out there. Maybe you want to bring your Apple phone, your Android phone, your tablet to the room. Maybe you want to wirelessly cast to it. You can do all those things even though it's Windows-based. We support those other types of platforms. If you want to walk into the room with your new fancy iPad, this is not, but you get the gist. Just follow the instructions for AirPlay. Just walk into the room, select your device, swipe into it, and then you'll see all of the SSIDs of your devices on here so you can actually log into it. This also means that if you're running anything with Chrome, Chromebooks, Android, even Linux, over here, PCs running Win 7, 8, 10, and MacBooks can all wirelessly cast in.
So so that tells us how to connect to. So I'm in a meeting room, it has a Mondopad, I want to connect to it. I can do it wirelessly, or of course I could connect through USB stick and also through HDMI. But also, what about if I'm at a far location and you're doing this sort of collaboration with multiple sites? Can you show us how that's done?
I'd love to. This is one of my favorite tricks. So you know that the Mondopad is based on industry standards, and that's going to be important when you want to do video calls. This is a native SIP device, but it supports 323. It also supports Skype, Link, Skype for Business, and audio only. So those 5 protocols are found right here. You can take things like your cell phone, be anywhere in the world, and dial into it. Just mute that. We have a free SIP dialer. So I can be traveling for business. Perhaps my team wants me to check out something that they're working on. All I have to do is type in the phone number of my Mondopad.
So all you're doing right there is typing in an actual phone number on the phone. Okay, boom. Wow.
Boom.
So it's like FaceTime. You basically FaceTime right into it.
Exactly. Now, here's what I see. I see that camera. There's my lovely studio back here in Portland, Oregon. But if my team wants me to check out some documents that they might have, or maybe they want something on a whiteboard, some action items that we're going to talk about, I still see them, but when I press share, I can see not only people and faces, but I can see the whiteboard.
Wow. Okay.
This is at least 5 points of touch in all of my models. So as we're making real-time collaboration decisions, you're going to see that on all different types of devices. This happens to be an iPhone.
Wow, you're a good demoer, by the way. This is a great demo. This is going to show well. That's really interesting. So what other kind of neat functions are in there? I mean, you showed us the whiteboarding. You showed us the connectivity remotely. You showed us how it can be used as a regular PC. You showed us the dial-in functionality. And of course, the local sharing functionality. So if I walk in with an iPad, I'm a Mac user, so I'm of a laptop or iPad, I'm going to be able to plug directly into it. What else is on there? Because I see a few other icons there.
Yes, let's go through them. Getting started are the instructions of the Mondopad. If you are the type of engaging presenter that wants to walk around the room, or maybe you ran a half marathon on Sunday, we have a free app for tablets. Now, this is something that we launched back in 2011, and I still love this. We call it Control View. And this means that I can run around the room or sit at the conference room table, and with this meeting access code, 7216, I can control it right from here. Let me find my device.
And so that code is only given out to the person who's in the room, so that's the only way they would know that it exists, right?
Exactly. So it's a secure connection. It's designed for one tablet and one Mondopad at a time, but it's bidirectional. So if I want to launch a PowerPoint presentation through here, maybe I'm going to say, hey, everybody, let's check out these slides I've been working on. And this is one of my Lightcast technical overviews. I can simply swipe from my device and forth. I can also pull up my annotation tools, come up with some great ideas. And someone else can come into the room and say, wait a minute, we should really talk about that browser, which is next.
Wow, that's what's good about this demo is you're showing it in real time, how it occurs and the speed at which it occurs. So this is going to be good for the viewer because they'll see sort of how easy it is to use, but also the actual interface that it requires to actually launch things, which I think is cool as opposed to just talking about them. So go through those icons again. Finish those icons if you will, because there were some other ones at the bottom that I from here I can't. I see the whiteboarding mode. I see a browser mode as well.
Yes, so getting started are the instructions like downloading this cool app and how to upload content. View and share, that's where work actually happens. That's where your presentations will reside until you're ready to open them. Browser, this is an important one because there's a lot of cloud-based content. You can get to your own websites, your own content, and you can annotate over the top of live browser sessions. And yes, that includes things like YouTube. Whiteboard, without a doubt, one of the customer favorite features. Video meeting, platforms and protocols are supported. Casting, walk into the room with your new cool stuff and be able to wirelessly share what you have. And by the way, up to 4 devices can do that at a time. Perfect for budget and project. Next up is extras. This is where your third-party apps reside. Remember how I said open protocol? We don't think you should just use one thing. We know there's cool stuff out there. I have Zoom, Skype for Business, SketchUp, awesome for architects, engineers, construction and design build, Paint, and GoToMeeting. Great, easy-to-use platforms. You can also find those down here at the bottom. I have them loaded on my homepage so people can walk in. Okay. They can easily find which solution they want to use that day.
Okay, so if I want to kind of summarize here, because you started with a 55-inch Mondopad originally, is that right? If I remember correctly. And then now you also have, in addition to the 55-inch, which is native HD 1080p, what else do you have? You have a 65, is that right?
Yeah, so we launched 55, but we've now migrated to the 57-inch. We go from there to 65-inch, 70, and then we go all the way to the top to my shipping Ultra 4K.
All right, so you have an 85-inch 4K, and then you have a 70-inch that is available in HD or 4K. Is that right, or is that automatically HD?
No, that's correct. It's available in both formats.
Okay, so but all the functionality that we saw works regardless of resolution. They're not resolution dependent. The only value in resolution is the more pixels, so you can display more content. But you don't have to have 4K for a lot of the applications that you're doing here. I think that would be more of a case when you're doing screen sharing or multiple people connecting at the same time. I think that's where that higher resolution really would come in. And then you have 5 simultaneous touch points, if I remember. Is that what you said?
At least 5. In this model, in my 70 here in my studio, I have 5, but I go all the way up to 10.
Okay. And all of them are shipping. All of them are available at InFocus.com. That's the Mondopad. And of course, if you can't find it, all you have to do is Google Mondopad. Everyone knows the product. In fact, it was the first product that was sort of an all-in-one product beyond a whiteboarder. I think a lot of companies at the time in 2011, 2012, when you guys launched it, had whiteboarding products, but they didn't have sort of this all-in-one meeting room product. And I think you were the first ones to do that and sort of pioneered that. And I think a lot of people emulated or attempted to emulate what you guys have done. So you've sort of stayed ahead of the curve there. You're also going to be at ISE. I don't have your booth or your stand number handy. Do you happen to know what it is? I'm going to look and see if I see it one of those displays.
Sure.
You know what it is off the top of your head?
Yes, A like Abby, number 2, hall 2.
Hall 2?
A, hall 2, 5, 2.
So A52, so hall 2, A52. Yeah. Okay. So that's going to be, so that's about where you guys were last year. So that's going to be close to the main entrance, about halfway down the main hall. So that's a good location. Of course, you can find out all the information at InFocus.com. We're going to not only cover them. We'll be at their booth. We're going to shoot videos on this and the other products that they show, because you'll actually have a combined booth with everything that you guys are doing now, which is a lot more than just the Mondopad. But this is a great demo of the Mondopad product for those of you who've been considering an all-in-one product. And if you're not selling this product at ISE, you can go by their stand and you can check it out. Regardless of where you are located in the world, they're going to have their team that handles the global reach, not just the EMEA reach. So Abby, thank you very much for joining me today, and thanks for doing this demo.
Thank you so much. If you'd like to check out more or have a personal demo for you and your teams, you can find us at InFocus.com, Abby-demo. Thanks. See you soon.
Abby-demo. Love that. Okay, thanks, Abby. I appreciate it, and thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week in Amsterdam.
Okay, see you there.